Welcome to this video. In this video we'll discuss about our discussion on Fisher's transaction approach. In the previous video we'll discuss about the theory of Irving Fisher, but in this video we'll discuss the refined income version of the Fisher's transaction approach. After Fisher's gave the theory, the modern economists reframed the Fisher's transaction approach. So in this approach they discussed about the number of transactions in the economy. So you remember in the last video we discussed about a PT is equals to MV is the equation 1. But further we reform this equation MV upon T. So that is equation number 2. But now for example, modern economist was of the opinion that the T, that is number of transaction in the economy in a particular time period. So that is very vague and very difficult to calculate in the real life. That is why they replace this T with the output or the real national income. So the refined equation PYMV. So this is, we can say that, equation number 3. Further we refine this equation. So P is equals to MV upon Y. This is the equation number 4. Here we'll discuss about all these things of the income version of Fisher's transaction approach. So we are writing on the above. P is equals to MV upon Y. So this is your equation number 4. In this equation we'll discuss about this Y. The only difference between the original Fisher's transaction approach and this, the refined income version. Here we are taking a Y because in the number of transaction in the previous video we discussed about T was the number of transaction of goods and services in the economy. It means the number of T also includes the intermediate consumption. It means here the Y only calculate the final goods and services. So that's very simple and that's very authentic in the modern era, because the GDP data is readily available and it is very difficult to calculate volume of transaction or the number of transaction. So that is why we are taking Y. It means it is only include the final goods and services, the final price of goods and services. So that is GDP. That's very authentic. Here we consider about this M and V. So two important variables in this equation. Here V means income velocity. Income velocity. So here what's the meaning of this income velocity? Income velocity means how the money changes hands. For example, how the same rupee is used for purchasing goods and services. So the same money used for how many number of times. So this is the modern refined version of this theory. Income velocity. Here Y means your GDP. So GDP, when we consider, it's always a real value. So we are taking as a real value, not the nominal value. The difference between real and the nominal is the real is inflation adjusted. It means it is adjusted with the price level prevailing in the economy. Now we'll draw one diagram and we will show how the prices are doubled whenever you increase the quantity of money. Here on the x-axis we are taking aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So with the help of these two we will discuss about this thing. This is price level in the economy. This is our aggregate supply curve. Now considering why it is vertical, because we are dealing with the classical theory. So the classical economist was of the opinion that supply is fixed because it is based on the two important notions, that is Say's law of market, that is supply creates its own demand, and the second one is wage price flexibility. It means whatever the fluctuation in the economy, the wages and prices will be flexible enough in order to restore the level of full employment. So that is why the aggregate supply is fixed. Here we are writing AD, that is M1 V. Here M1 means particular amount of money is in circulation. V means velocity of money, that is remain constant. So in this model AD, now we find out the prices. So this is P1 is the price level. Now for example, because we are assuming that velocity of money or income velocity remains constant, that is why the only way to increase the prices is to double the quantity of money. Suppose for example, the central bank of the country thinks about that we should double the price. So whenever you should double the price, it means the surplus cash will be spurred in the economy. So surplus cash will be act as a made disposable income. That is why the level of aggregate demand will go rightward, or we can say outward. So with the increase in the quantity of money, this AD1, so M2, V remains constant. It means the same thing. The velocity remains constant. Only thing, that is because aggregate supply is also constant due to the working of the classical model. So M1 changes to M2. It means the prices or the quantity of money is being doubled. Now we will see the effect on the prices. Here prices is P2. So we can say that whenever the quantity of money is being doubled, your price level will also be doubled. That's the simple notion behind and the idea behind this income version of the Fisher's transaction approach. That's the same thing, nothing new in that. You can also watch the previous video of the Fisher's main theory, that is transaction approach. If you have any feedback, any recommendation, any doubt, you can also mention in the comment box. Please give a thumbs up to this video and share with your friends this video and this channel. Finally, you subscribe this channel to get the instant notification of this video. Once again, thank you so much. Stay connected.